Today's podcast is presented by Podgo. Podgo is the easiest way for you to monetize your podcast, providing podcasters with a flat rate for ad space so you always know how much you get when you include an ad from Podgo. Apply today to become a member and immediately be connected with advertisers that fit your audience. That's podgo.co at podgo.co. And be sure to add the Slang Self Doubt podcast in the How Did You Hear About Podgo section of the application. You're listening to the Slaying Self-Doubt podcast with Coach Felicia, where we empower Black women to overcome their doubts, fears, and insecurities in order to give birth to their God-given purpose. Join me and sometimes some of my friends on our journey as we remind you that you are not alone. I'm Felicia Wallace, and together we will find our fears and slay them. Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of the Slaying Self-Doubt podcast. It's your girl, Felicia Wallace. Welcome to all the new and continued listeners. As always, it doesn't matter how you found me, whether it was by way of solo episode, guest episode, reshare, a repost, a retweet, however you found me. I'm just so glad that you are on this journey with me. So we have one big announcement today, but I'm going to go in kind of order of the announcements. So the first thing is I just really want to thank the people who are continually pouring into me, right? We got some more coffees. I have received 20 coffees from someone, and I am just so grateful. I'm grateful that you know, people believe in this. They believe in this journey. They believe in me and the support that I am receiving. I'm grateful for it. And I'm in a space now where I can receive it. And it's so important to me, or just interesting, or, this is the way that the Lord works, is that in a season that we're talking about community, how I'm actually watching my community show up for me, in ways that I knew that they were always already doing it, but being more intentional about singing it, I think it's a beautiful thing, and I'm overly grateful. Second thing is that I know I had mentioned to you all that my books were open for the month of November. They still are, but I only have count them, 1, 2, 3 slots available for clients for the month of November. It is also, I literally am in a place that I was dreaming about, wishing that I would get to, hoping that one day, it would be a space where I'm kind of in this position, and I'm not all the way where I would like to be, but I am moving forward, and so I'm just grateful for it. So again, if it is something that you are interested in, make sure you book a connection call, and let's just have a conversation about what it looks like to be coached. Whatever your questions are, I will answer those. If you have any questions and you don't want to book a connection call, you can always just email me. I can email you back, and just give you that information. What I will say is that what you hear every week in your ear when you listen to this podcast is absolutely the same person you will receive coaching from. I am the same person everywhere that I go. Anybody who knows me knows that this is how I show up. So again, if you're interested, either book a call, email me your questions, DM me, and I'll, answer them the best way that I can. And, we go from there. Now, the really big announcement. If you follow me on the socials, and you all should, you might already know. But if the only way that you hear anything from me is through these airways, I am going to tell you the big news. So the big news is that finally, Slaying Self Doubt will be having its first event. On November 20th in Hyattsville, Maryland, at Camp Spaces. It is going to be a brunch. We are going to, build community, have impactful conversations. And it's something that's been on my heart for a very, very, very long time. And I allowed everything, doubt, insecurities, imposter syndrome, fear, anxiety, all those things. I allow everything to delay it. That's just me being truthful. And this year God just kept pressing it on my heart over and over and over again. And I was just kind of like, well, maybe I'll wait till the panorama is over. And it was as distinct as I am talking to you right now. He said, if it does not happen now, it will not. And some of that was, I'm clear, it wasn't like a threat, but he know me better than I know myself, right? And I know that if I had not done it and moved on it, it wouldn't have happened. And as we go into this episode, as we're getting ready to talk about strength in community, I think it is so um so I wanted to say the word interesting, but it's not interesting. It's alignment. Because God knows, He knows how things are supposed to happen, how everything is going to flow together. And what I would say is, it's so interesting that we're having this conversation about community literally at the same time that I am, creating community and going outside of the airways and stepping away from this mic to really build community. And God is intentional. He knows what He's doing. And so it is the intentionality behind it that I did not recognize was happening, but now I can see it, that He is really pushing me out of my comfort zone. And, there are lots of things that are happening, behind the scenes that, has allowed me to be able to get to this place, right? And it's still nerve-wracking. It still is anxiety ridden, but I'm doing it. And, I am, it's going to happen, right? And, a lot of my uncomfortability or whatever is surrounded by understanding or knowing the outcome. But I'm clear that whatever God's will is will happen. And, it's taken me probably about 24 hours to get to that place, because yesterday when I finally posted, well, not yesterday, I'm sorry, Friday, when I finally it made the site live and the tickets live, bruh, I was a nervous wreck all day long. Like, I had a headache. I couldn't go to sleep, but I finally just, I prayed and then I went to sleep. But it was really because I was trying to control it, and I had to just release it and be like, God, your will be done. And that's it. That's literally all that I can do. So I am overly excited about it. I hope that if you are able to attend, I will say that it is limited seating due to COVID restrictions. We are requesting that those who do purchase tickets, that they understand that they will have to get a negative COVID test, because I'm all about being safe and, just making sure that we're doing our part. And that's regardless of your vaccination status. It is because that's the safest thing to be able to do. And so I'm excited. I'm excited about what that day will bring. I'm excited about what God what will happen next, because what I'm clear on is this is step one. Everything after it, I am convinced God will blow my mind. And I'm ready for it. And so again, I hope that you are there. So today we're talking about strength in the community. We have been using Hebrews 10:24 through 25, the Passion Translation, as a reference point over the past couple of weeks. And, I was looking at it and I was just like, kind of breaking down the last things that we were talking about, creating a community, supporting the community. And so when I opened up my Bible app, I look at multiple versions. So sometimes, the New Living Translation, the Passion Translation, Christian Standard edition, or Christian Standard Bible. And sometimes I use the easy version, because depending on the scripture, yeah, I need the easy version where it's just like super layman terms. Okay. So I happen to have it open because I was looking at something else. And so when I went to Hebrews, this one came up. And so when I read it, I was like, oh, that's not what I read. But I was like, oh, no, this is going to go with today. So this is the easy version of Hebrews 10:24 through 25. Actually, this is 23 through 25. And it still goes together. So it says, we know that we can trust God to do the things that He has promised. So we must continue to expect those things. That was a word for me. Okay. Just right there, that in itself. We must tell other people that we trust God. We should not stop doing that. We should think about how we can help one another. We want everyone to show love to each other. We want everyone to do good things to help one another. Some people have stopped meeting with the group of Christians, but that is not good. We should all continue to meet together. We need to help one another be strong and brave. That is now even more important because the Lord's great day is coming. You know that the Lord will return soon. And so the part that stuck out to me was we need to help one another be strong and brave. And in using my upcoming event as a reference point for today, that's exactly what it is that I wanted to create, right? When I had the conversations, the many conversations with people about what it is I wanted to do and how what I saw for slaying self-doubt moving forward. It's just like everything I do, whether it be on this platform or the podcast, whether I'm in a live, when I was doing Clubhouse, when I have conversations even with my clients, it is always to create a safe and brave space, right? And so and for it to be me recognizing that I'm like, I'm not saying that I have all the answers, but I would like to be able to facilitate the conversations that need to be had, right? And so when I read that part of the verse that we need to help each other be strong and brave, it hit me like this right here is going to be your moment, because I'm asking people to show up. I'm asking people to come, be a part of this community, and be strong and be brave. But that means that I also have to be strong and be brave. And that requires more vulnerability for me, more transparency for me, more action, right? Because I can say it all day long, but if there's no action behind the strength and the bravery, I guess that's the word. Yeah, bravery. Then, I kind of put myself in a space of, am I actually being brave? Am I doing those things? And so when I decided to just go forth and and go ahead and do this, this event, I really was intentional about, I know that I don't want it to be a huge event, right? I didn't want 150 people somewhere, first of all, because of a panorama. And I'm not even comfortable with that. But the biggest thing for me is that I know where I make the greatest impact. And a lot of times it's in smaller groups, right? It's in smaller spaces where the person who probably wouldn't say anything feels safe enough to open their mouth because it's only 12 women, right? The person that is struggling and feels like no one else hears them has a support of not 50 people looking at them like, what, but it's really 10, looking and being in this intentional space to say, this is why we're here, helps them be strong and be brave. And so, a lot of times I was having a conversation with somebody and they were talking about how they needed, they're in a transition. And so they're looking for a new set of friends. And now we've talked about this before where like when I became an entrepreneur, I needed, and we talked about this on here, like when you're a community, you're looking for certain things. So she's looking for a community, right? And so, she's like, oh, I seen something on social media, whatever have you, where people are paying for friends. Like they're getting into these social groups or these membership programs where, it really is still about community. And so when we were having a conversation, I was like, well, I can see that, because that's kind of what I'm trying to create, is a community of women who have a reference point of the same thing. Like we out here slaying our self-doubt. It could be in our marriages, it could be in our careers, it could be in our personal life, it could be in our parenting, it could be in so many areas. It doesn't matter if you're married, if you have children, if you have a job, if you are an entrepreneur. We're just women having the same we have the same pain point, basically. And so when I think about that, I thought about like how how does that how does that make a difference when you're talking about wanting to be able to create or build community, be a part of a community, receive support in a community, and then finding strength in a community, right? And that made me have to think about like, what is it that you're really trying to do? And so even off the break for me, like I've said this multiple times. I am very clear that, my assignment is connected to somebody else, and understanding that my assignment is connected to somebody else makes me operate differently than everybody else, right? Because, well, it should have in the beginning, but now I got it together, right? Because now I'm able to say that with confidence, I know what it is that I want to do, because this is my assignment. My assignment wasn't all the other things I thought it was, or whatever everybody else got going on. It is to have these conversations that nobody else is willing to have. It's to have these conversations to allow women to be seen. It's to have these conversations to allow women to feel heard and supported, and to find their own strength. In me doing this, I've had so many people, even in me just posting that this event was going to happen, and posting that the take between Monday and Friday of posting that the event was happening, and that the tickets were on sale. The feedback that I received, the love the encouragement that I received built my strength and my bravery, right? Because I recognize that I actually already had a community of women. I actually already had a community of people who genuinely supported me. There's not one person that I could say that God has aligned me with who is intentionally out here trying to undermine me, use me in any type of situation, who is being shisty, being fake, being fluke. If those people exist, I don't see them. Okay. Because who I'm connected to and who I'm aligned with, I am clear before I get into any type of situation with them, whether it be the podcast, whether it be, a speaking event, whatever the connection is, it literally has to be, it has to be aligned for me. And so when I realized that I'm already in that space, what I had to do in order to strengthen myself and be, strong and brave in this scary time. And I say scary just because, like I say, just the uncertainty of it all, or whatever have you, is that I had to receive the encouragement. I had to receive the love. I have some people who reached out to me who was like, I'm not going to be able to make it, but I want to support your event. And so I'm going to donate this. And I was like, what the? Like, you don't have to do that. Like, no, it's okay, and because I'm not a person who is accustomed to normally receiving, and I've told y'all this before, like I don't know, it makes me feel all weird inside or whatever have you. Like, I literally had to receive it. And when they asked, what do you need? I had to answer and say, if you want to, sure, that's fine. And it was like, got you. You don't have to worry about it. When I got encouraging words that's like, this is going to be a great event. I'm so proud of you. I can't wait to see what comes from this. I had to receive that. And that, for me, built my strength. It built me up to be able to say, no, this is what I'm supposed to do. But it first started because I knew what my assignment was. I was clear on when God gave me Slaying Self-Doubt, I knew how it was supposed to not fully play out, but I always knew that this was a part of it. And sometimes the scariest things that you can do is actually the bravest thing that you're supposed to do, right? This is what is supposed to bring you to your bring you to the place where you are brave and you are strong. And when you're doing that, me receiving that encouragement, receiving that love, accepting it, right, and taking it, it allowed me to be able to say, my community is helping me be strong. It's helping me to be brave. And I want to create the same space for other people. I want other people to be able to be a part of Slaying Self-Doubt in some sort of way, and be able to say, like, being a part of this community allowed me to show up better for myself, to show up better for my kids, to show up better for, my marriage, my friends, my job. It allowed me to rethink the way that I'm doing things, right? And, I recognize that I recognize the importance of it, and the severity of it, right? So even in working with my clients and talking to them, I understand the part that I play in their lives. I understand the I understand my portion. I understand my part, my what is the word? I don't want to say influence, but I just know that what it is that I'm doing will make a difference in their lives one way or the other. And I take that very seriously. I do not take it for granted. When I get on here and I'm talking to y'all, I am very not strategic, but very clear about whatever I say on here. I want it to be the truth for me no matter what, but I want it to always be an encouragement to someone else who has been in my shoes or who is in my shoes. Like, I'm always talking to me. Whenever I open my mouth, I'm always talking to me. And that is where the genuineness comes from. That is where the transparency comes from, because it's building me up too. And so when we're talking about finding strength in your community and knowing, the part of the community, the part you play in the community, you want to make sure that when you are in that space of, and again, when we're talking about, this is small groups, these are friend groups. If you're building something for yourself, whatever that is, like, it has to be strength in it. It has to be some sense of bravery, because the thing about it is that we have spent so much of our lives being surface with so many people. I know that we have, because I have, right? And you spend your life just being on top of the water and making it every single day and pretending like everything is okay. But the minute you break, and the minute you are in need, and the minute you really need some support, you find yourself by yourself. Why? Because you actually created a community that can support you when you fall. And my thing is that it's taken me, a while, but I was like, I have a community of women around me, some tighter than others, that will support me, um, good, bad, or indifferent. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, they know me. They know who I am as, those who know me as Felicia, those who know me as Bunny. It's the same person, but everybody calls me different names, right? Um, but it's really about showing up for your community and allowing them to show up for you. You have to be a part of a community. It's going to help you be brave and strong. It really has to happen. And in reading, God's word and reading this version of the Bible, it is our responsibility to help one another, to be brave and strong. And so if I know that not only is this is a part of my assignment, but it's also in the word of God that is what we're supposed to do, to be able to help another woman stand up and to find her strength and to find her bravery, as scary as it is for me, guess what? That's what I'm going to have to do, because I'm clear about what it is that he wants me to do. Everybody doesn't have the same assignment. Everybody isn't called to do the same thing. I know what my ministry is and I know what it ain't, right? And I'm clear that in this moment, this is my assignment. This is my assignment to help other women be strong and brave. And that brings me joy, because I feel like that the fact that God would give me that makes me feel proud. Like, it really does make me feel proud to know that he believes that much in me, that I can do that, because then that means it is in me, right? It would have to be in me in order to be able to um help other people do the same thing, even though I don't see it within myself. And in having these conversations, and since I've been on this journey, I've recognized something that I told one of my clients is that sometimes other people will see you before you see yourself. And I've had I have been on this journey for a very long time, even long before slaying self-doubt became a thing. Who people have told me that I'm brave and courageous, and I've been like, you don't know my real life. I'll be like, no, that's not what it is. But I can sit here today and say, I am brave. I am strong. And I'm going to proudly walk into that. When I did post about the tickets, I had a friend of mine who is a recent friend actually, who started out as, we started out, it was a business relationship because I was a client of hers. And just in conversations and talking to her and being around her, like I felt her energy. I knew that she was a genuine person. And sometimes when you meet people on the socials, you like, I don't know, right? Like people send a representative everywhere, right? So you just don't know. But when I sent the thing, when I sent did everything on Friday, she posted a story. And when I tell you that I was like, this lady literally just met me. Like for real, she just met me in 2021. Like this year. Like it ain't even been a whole year that I've known her. And what she said about me and what she says that she can see and what the inspiration that she says that she's gotten from me. One, I know that ain't nothing but God. But two, it made me recognize that you've always been showing up this way. And people can see that. They can see your authenticity. They can see, your genuineness. They can see your transparency. And it is what we need. And, I am grateful all the times that I get those type of messages, that I get those type of DMs or texts or emails or phone calls. Like I am always grateful for those because it reminds me of my strength. It reminds me of my bravery. It reminds me that I am doing this work and it's greater than me. It's bigger than me. And I'm just going to keep doing it. And so, yeah, like today, we talked about finding strength in your community and helping each other. The takeaways from today are going to be the first part is understanding your assignment, right? You have to know what your assignment is so that you make sure that you are doing exactly what it is that God is calling you to do, right? And that in your communities, right? Like whatever your job is in that assignment, in your connection to the other people that you are building community with. What is the part that you play, right? And then allow your community to help you be brave and strong. Allow them to pour into you as much as you pour into them or pour into others around you. And then thirdly, receive the encouragement, receive it, accept it, and keep it with you. I had posted something a couple of days ago in my stories where someone else that I follow mentioned something about how hard it is for us sometimes to receive compliments, and that the fact that it is a struggle. So it's from Michael C. Clark, his IG. I guess this is his Twitter is love yourself. Okay. So it says, stop rejecting the compliments that people give you, receive them in full. You're allowed to accept the fact that people appreciate you. You're allowed to be treated with genuine kindness. You're allowed to love yourself. And I wrote that, yes, I had to learn to give myself permission to receive compliments without qualifying or dismissing, right? And the examples that I used was like, no, I just threw that together. So say someone says, oh, this is a great, whatever, like you did such a great job. You're like, oh, no, it was just something yeah, okay. Or at work, I used to do this a lot. They were like, oh, Felicia, this came together really good. I'd be like, I just Googled such and such, or anybody could have done that. It's not a big deal. Somebody say something or compliment you on something like, I mean, yeah, but look at you. Look at how you are, you downplay yours to bring somebody that is dismissing it, right? Or you say thanks, but right. Thanks, but I didn't really do anything, or thanks, but yeah, I wish it was that. No, just I had to learn to just say thank you and I received that, even when I didn't have the words. So even when I don't have the words. So when Adrian posted that story, like, I was emotional about it, but all I could just say was thank you and I received that. Like I couldn't. Sometimes it doesn't require anything else. It just requires you to just sit with that. When people, who have been just this outpouring of love of the podcast or what they see me doing or how they see me showing up, I really can just, all I can say is thank you and I received that. And so for anybody who has ever sent me a message, if you've had kind words and when you're talking to other people and when you're recommending the podcast or recommending me as a coach or whatever it is. I just want to tell you thank you. I receive it. I'm appreciative. And I feel all the love. Okay. So as always, thank y'all for rocking with me. We have been doing this for quite some time, and I am just so grateful. I hope that you are getting something from this series and talking about community. I hope that you're finding your community. I hope that you're paying attention to how you play a part in your community. And I hope that if you need to find other community, that you get up and find your people, sis. Find your people. Okay. Get your tickets now. I told y'all it's a limited amount of people. It is in the DMV. There will not be another event for a while. So I want you all, if you feel like, if it is on your heart to be in this space and you feel like this is somewhere I need to be surrounded around people who are ready, women, for real. Like, we're going to have a serious conversation, and to just be in a safe and brave space, get your ticket. Join me on November 20th, and let's do this. As always, I like talking to you in the comments. So make sure that you comment, make sure you share, rate, and review. Follow me on IG if you're not already following me. If you're interested in life coaching and coaching with me, I have 3 spots available for the month of November. Go ahead and go to www.FeliciaWallace.com to schedule a connection call, or you can email me at info@FeliciaWallace.com. If you have any questions. Until next week, guys. See ya. All right, y'all, that's all for this week. Thanks for listening, and don't forget to share, subscribe, rate, and review. Remember to head over to Facebook and Instagram and follow me at Slaying Self-Doubt. Oh, wait, don't forget, go to my YouTube channel and watch this episode, and remember to press the subscribe button. Until next week, see ya.